Keep your hands and arms in vehicle at all time because this shit might get out of control today. Good morning, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
welcome to the
goes the
show.
monetization right off the top, boys and
Yeah,
girls.
take that, bitches. This is episode 440. This one is not about monetization. This one is for the people. Yeah, how you doing, everybody? Today,
Oh man.
it's Monday. It's all kind of good things today. Guys, I'm going to start off with my Chase Claypool watch. And only because, listen, and I'm going to go this route because I made a mistake on Friday. I had said that the
Oh,
apocalypse was coming because Austin Hedges won a World Series.
yeah.
I had said that DJ got a touchdown, and I slipped. I said that Chase Claypool caught a touchdown. He caught a pass. I just
Oh,
want to make
okay.
that clear. He caught a pass. That was what he did. He caught a pass. He didn't catch no touchdown. So with that being said, I want to jump into my Chase Claypool watch for the week. Mike, he didn't show a line. He didn't produce a line. I don't know whether he played, he didn't play, he didn't produce a stat line at all.
I love it.
So there you go, Chase Claypool, everybody doing
Yeah.
absolutely nothing on a Dolphins team that's highly overrated, in my opinion.
Oh, it's been over 400 days since they've beat a team with a winning record.
It's been over 400 days since they beat a team with a winning record. Get this, guys. This Dolphins team is 6-0 this year versus teams with losing records. 6-0. Yeah, look at that. But guess what? They're 0-3. 0-3 versus teams with winning records. How many days has it been, Mike, since they beat a team with a winning record?
It's like a 406 or something I read.
So there you have it. Listen, guys, for everybody counting us out, I'm going to tell you something. There's only two teams in the NFC that have a better record than us. It's Detroit with one game better than us. In Philadelphia, of course, they only have one loss still, but I think that lies heavily on them not getting called for pass interferences, which we'll get into later. That's a whole big thing. Like I said, guys, keep your hands inside the vehicle. This one's going to be a wild ride that I can promise you this. Let's start with the whole division, the whole AFC North again, Mike. Wins again. I can't tell you the last team in a time the AFC North team had lost a game.
Yeah, and Baltimore's on a 4-game win streak.
Baltimore's on a 4-game win streak. However, all the games that we won this weekend, from the Steelers to the Bengals game last night, they were all against teams that were sub 500. I just want to throw that out there because nobody's seeming to mention that part of it. Every team that we beat this weekend was under 500. And I do got a couple things I want to say about this Ravens team. Like you talked about this Ravens team
Mm-hmm.
who's sitting in, where'd they go here? They're sitting in like the second seed, I believe, if
Yeah.
I'm remembering right, which that could be us if we would, we were one game better. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers could be the number 2 seed in the AFC right now.
That is
Um, yeah, say what you
this is
will. Say what you will about this team, but again, we're gonna bring forth some pretty good points today. Mike, I want to talk about the Ravens' remaining schedule. They have a difficult. They're finally getting the difficult teams coming up, and I'm glad to see it because they've been looking like they've been walking away with this division. And you know what? It's very misleading because they've played all the bad teams so far. They haven't played the teams that we've played in the division. Let me give you an idea of what these Baltimore Ravens look like the rest of the way. And I think this might just might give people the idea of what's going on with this Baltimore team. One more second so I could pull it up. All right, so this coming weekend, the Ravens, they play the Browns. Okay, Browns. This defense is red hot. They're shutting teams out. So they got the Browns next. Excuse me. Then they got the Bengals, who's now finally getting
yep.
some wheels under them.
Yeah, because
And
they
then
faced the Bengals week 2 and the Bengals were trash.
they go out to play the Chargers out in Los Angeles, which is okay. And then they play the Rams, which is
Yeah.
okay. But then the final 4 games of the Ravens season, they go to Jacksonville, to San Francisco. They play the Dolphins, and then they finish up against the Steelers. So you got your 2 Ohio rivals,
Mm-hmm.
Browns and Bengals, a couple LA teams, which they'll probably win these games.
Yeah.
Again, the Jaguars, the 49ers, the Dolphins, the Steelers. So again, I think we're going to see a lot of what this team is made of. Where the Steelers have their teams like the Colts left, they have the teams like the Patriots. They still have all their weenie teams. Where we've already played our 49ers, we've already played our Jaguars, we've already played So I think you're going to start to see things kind of even out if in fact the Steelers team could keep their sanity,
Yeah.
which it's very questionable at this point. I think that we have some issues, and you know what? To me, the major issues aren't even on the field. To be honest, there's some things that are going on off the field. Listen,
Yeah, like our toughest games that I'm looking at remaining are our division games. The two against the Bengals and the Browns and the Ravens. To me, those are our
absolutely.
hardest games on there. And we've already beaten the Browns. We've already beaten the Ravens. Now, if we end up splitting between the Browns and the Ravens and the Bengals, that we'd still end up with a pretty good record, man. We should still finish at worst two in the division.
Right. Considering again, Baltimore got some tough games left. We know that
Mm-hmm.
San Fran isn't what they were in the first couple of games of the season, but you'd like to think in those last
You think
couple
they
of
could
weeks,
figure it out?
they're going to be trying to really pull to get some kind of
Yeah.
playoff positioning, considering that they had dipped a little bit here during the season. All right, let me get back to where
Let's get
I'm at.
back on track. Let's reset.
Reset. Were we ever set?
No, 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 because yeah, things have been wild today.
Um, hold on. I just got one more thing to do, and I'll be
Okay, no,
caught
yeah,
up here.
you're good, man. Take your
All right.
time. Take your time. This is all part of the two dumb Yinzers experience right here. We do it on the
Okay,
fly,
here it is.
boys.
My playoff picture as of right now.
All right.
Right meow. The Kansas City
Meow.
Chiefs hold the number one spot. Number two, the Baltimore Ravens, Mike. The Baltimore Ravens, who we are basically one win away from being in a tiebreaker, which we have that tiebreaker, which means we are this close to being the number two seed in the AFC at the moment. Number three, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number four, the Miami Dolphins. And then rounding out the wild card teams in the conference, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati. If the playoffs started today, AFC North would be the playoffs. And Pittsburgh Steelers
I,
again are sitting just a game out of that number two spot in the AFC, and again only behind two teams record wise in the whole entire NFC. As crazy as it is, and as bad as this team is, that people say, here we are, right in the mix of it all, right in the
somehow,
mix. You couldn't be any more in the mix than what the Pittsburgh Steelers are right now.
I'm sorry, Steeler freak. He was like, I came on right when Ryan belched.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
got to rewind, Steeler Freak. This whole show has been like I told you at the top of the show. Keep your hands inside the cart.
Ryan is already off the rails. He was ready to go before I was ready to go. That hasn't happened in over a year. He's fired up, ready to go. But it's somehow like this Steeler team, man. We're just staying around.
And I'm going to tell you, Mike, and Steeler Freak, and anybody else, why the Pittsburgh Steelers are the best team in the league. Like I have to convince you guys, but I'm going to tell you why. Have you ever seen any team give everybody they play a 3-quarter head start? Anybody? Have you ever seen this ever happen in the history of the NFL? Ever?
Yeah, like it. No, it doesn't happen. Our offense gives everyone a three-quarter lead, and our defense has to play all four quarters.
It's
Hopefully,
questionable sometime. I think we could.
that is questionable sometimes, but hey,
But
if
look at it
we
this way: every game we played, we gave a team a 3-quarter head start. And guess what? We were 5-3, so more than half the time we came and we in that one quarter that we played football, we outplayed the team that we were given to play.
yeah, if we had a I hate to say it, but like Steeler Freak said, Stroud gave me quarterback envy. If we had him, where do you think this team would be right now?
But
If
we
we had
don't.
above average
I mean,
quarterback play right now, we would be so much better
I
than
mean,
what
if
we are.
last year we were saying if we had Josh Allen, well, guess what? Our quarterback's better than Josh Allen. Go
I'd
look at the
still take
numbers.
Josh
Go look
Allen.
at the statistics. He's better than Josh Allen. So come on, guys. This team is not far from it. Again, I'm watching the same team that you guys are watching. It's an ugly game. Things don't look pretty. But you know what? Look around the league. We're one game
There's a
from
lot of
being
bad
the
football being played.
we are one game from being the number two seed in the AFC. One
Yeah,
game.
one game, but
And the only reason, Mike, is because they don't get a bye week till week 20. The Ravens don't get their bye week till the season's over. I don't understand what's going on with that. But if
when
they would
is their
play,
bye week?
what's it, dude? It's in 2025. I don't get it. I don't understand why. But if we had played the same amount of games, we have a tiebreaker against Baltimore, which means if we had the same record, we would be the number 2 seed right now. As crazy as it is, people, as crazy as it is. And again, that's the number 2 seed in the AFC, and only 2 teams in the NFC have a better record than us, being the Lions, who are 6-2, and that Eagles team only has 1 loss. Do what you want with that. But the Buffalo Bills, Mike, who were a favorite, I would think,
they're
going into
playing
the
terrible.
season. They're not even in the playoff. They're not even in the playoffs right now. The playoffs started now, halfway through the season. Buffalo Bills aren't even in. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, all in. If playoffs started today,
like this league this year, man, is totally crazy. You know, we we said, man, there's bad football being played. And like, look at the Chiefs, man. They're struggling to score 20 points a game. How is that offense struggling to score points? Miami is beating up on the worst teams in the league, and when they play anyone with a winning record, they can't do anything. So really, how dangerous are they?
And let me tell you why. You want me to tell you why those teams aren't doing any good? And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Good morning, Ralph. Good morning, Steeler Freak. I got to tell you, the NFL is systematically changing the way the game is being played, and if we don't see this, I think there's something wrong. They're over penalizing on hitting quarterbacks on plays that are very routine. I'm talking about not penalty type plays.
Yep.
I'm talking about plays where you just tackle the quarterback like you've done, and have you seen your whole entire life watching football. They're taking that out and they're over penalizing it, and they're letting these guys in the secondary put their hands all over guys and hold guys. And people might say, "Well, Ryan, what are you talking about? Turn on the Dallas Cowboy game from yesterday, and you're gonna shit because that last play of the game, the tight end or whatever it was, he got tackled.
The guy was wrapped around him.
They break it down. They show the ball's not there yet. They show the guy's wrapped around him and he's pulling him to the ground. No call. This is why things don't make sense. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's done by design or what's going on, but this league is not the same as it was 5 years ago. Certainly what it was 20 years ago.
No.
And again, is the NFL intentionally doing this?
I hate to buy into that conspiracy theory, but the officials fixing games, the league want to keep games tight. But we're seeing phantom calls on every team going
all the time. This isn't just every once in a while.
Past couple Steeler games, like, okay, why is this roughing the passer? That wasn't roughing the passer. Sometimes, okay, the explanation makes sense, blah blah blah. But then you're seeing like obvious pass interference calls on one team not being called, ticky tacky on the other. Then later in the game, that ticky-tacky call is not being called. The egregious penalties aren't being called. It's I don't know what's going on. The officials are terrible.
Are they trying to make this sports entertainment? That's my issue. If they are, tell us, please. I want to know, because it's becoming unwatchable, Mike. The NFL is becoming unwatchable.
Yeah, they the NFL, like Steeler Freak says, they do want those high-scoring games, but there's not a lot of good quarterbacks out there. There's not a lot of good quarterback play. So are they trying to manufacture good quarterback play? Are they trying to manufacture stars out of these quarterbacks that aren't that good? I know the NFL wants to have competitive balance, which is fine. I don't mind that, but there are going to be teams that suck. That's just the case. Not every team can finish 8-9 every year, 9-8 every year. You're going to have your teams that are going to win 4 or 5 games a year. The NFL just has to deal with it. I know they know close games and competitive balance brings viewers in, but come on now. It's the most popular sport in America. You don't micromanage it. You're going to micromanage it.
No, you're going to F it up, and it's not going to be the best anymore. You're going away from what works.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess? Does anybody want to guess what my next beef is with this team?
Oh, I can't wait to hear the next beef.
You want to guess? You take a guess, Mike.
I'm ready. Coaching.
Yes. No, well, yeah, in a kind of in a way, yes. Free me. I am I am being so oppressed. Nobody's throwing me the football. I can't even cheer when a guy that hasn't caught a ball in 669 days and caught a touchdown. I literally turn around and walk off the field like he just didn't catch the game-winning touchdown. I'm going to go home and I'm going to delete my social media. I'm going to take all the Pittsburgh Steelers stuff off it. I'm going to unfriend Kenny Pickett. This guy, come on. Like, we're talking about how well Coach Tomlin held AB under wraps for all those years. Get on your guys and take control of this team. This team is getting out of control. One guy complains until he finally catches a touchdown. The other guy complains after that guy catches a touchdown because he didn't get a touchdown. I see guys in the huddle walking around, turn around, listen to your quarterback. listen to the play, get up to the line like the normal football team. Mike, there's so many things with this football team. If you go back and watch the tape, you're gonna sit there with your fist in anger because this team right now is being very, very undisciplined. They got to tighten up as a team. I tell you what, if this team was tight, we might actually be good. If everyone's going their own direction. Kenny Pickens is doing his own thing. Deontay's doing his own thing. Kenny's, we're trying to deal with this coordinator. You got to tighten his team up. Yes, coaching is a part of it, but
maybe
you know what?
Pickens
I'm mad at you, Pickens. I'm mad at you. You're mad at us. You're mad at the team. Guess what? I'm going to go burn my Pickens. I'm going to burn my Pickens jersey tomorrow because screw you. Because I'm mad at you. Does that sound like a rational thing? No, it's not rational. Shut up. Play football. As Hines Ward said, it's not about you. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
Another great pick by Kevin Colbert. He knows how to pick the head cases. That's right there.
Who, Pickens?
Yeah, George Pickens. That's Kevin Colbert's last draft.
I don't think he's a bad pick. He just needs to calm the fuck down. You're win, guys. You won.
Yeah,
What's
he's a nutcase. He is a nutcase. He's that.
These guys are losing every. I mean, that's a different story. You're winning. You're literally a game from being the second best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Some way somehow.
Yeah. He just needs to get his head on right. Of course, this was like, in college, he's the weird guy. He, wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's that guy who, doesn't know how to contain it properly, doesn't know how to express it properly. And you know what? As long as he's catching passes, I'm fine with it. If he would have caught that touchdown before, the one that he should have got his feet.
Drag your toe, brother. Fine. You know how to do this. You do it every freaking play on a sideline. Maybe, just maybe you would hold a little bit more validity here.
Yeah.
If you would have drug your toe when you had 19 feet to catch the ball. Come on, man. Come on.
He needs to get his head out of his ass, but, I don't know. It all comes back to, for this team right here, if they had a better quarterback, this team would be so much better.
Sports becoming unwatchable, Mike. These personalities and these attitudes. Play football. I'm tuning in for football. I don't care. I don't care what you're, come on. Drag your damn toe and get a touchdown. We won't have any problems.
See, you're
gonna screw up and then you're gonna turn your back on the team. Get the fuck out of here.
I love it. I hate it.
Bug-eyed freak.
I hate it, but I love the drama. I love the drama it's creating.
And I tell you what, we have a good quarterback, and I'm going to tell you why.
No, we don't.
We do have a good quarterback.
He misses
quarterback is outperforming a quarterback who's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And I'm going to give you some numbers as the show goes on to prove to you that he is better quarterback in the league.
Numbers, okay. How about you throw more than 2 touchdowns twice in your career? How about CJ Stroud, a rookie, has more career touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett has? This guy is a bad quarterback. He's missing wide open receivers.
Winning games? Is that what matters to you?
CJ Stroud has played 9 games and has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett played how many years in college? This guy is unpolished quarterback.
He's outperforming every quarterback in fourth quarters of football games. He has more comebacks
but it's 4 quarters long, not just the fourth quarter.
Who's winning these football games?
He's lucky this defense is holding him together.
Who is winning these football games? Could you please answer that question before you say any other stupid shit? Who's winning these football games?
The Steelers won the game. The Steelers won the game.
Thank you.
But they would be a whole hell of a lot better.
Everything else you say is null. It makes no sense because
they would be a whole hell of a lot better if
that's the only thing that matters, Mike. The only thing that matters is the Steelers are winning. We're 1 game from being the second-ranked team in the AFC. We only have.
Do you honestly think they can continue to play like this and win a Super Bowl?
No. Did I ever say that?
Then there's major problems.
Like, I'm going to tell you about 30 other teams that aren't going to win a Super Bowl either.
Quarterback
the Miami Dolphins aren't going to win a Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you about.
They're going to go They might go a whole lot further.
Guess what? They have a lot better quarterback than we do, and they're not going to win it either. So, have fun with that.
Oh my God, dude! What the hell is wrong with you? Like, Kenny Pickett sucks. He sucks. Look at the game film. He sucks. He can't read a defense.
Who's winning football games? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me tell you this: Kenny Pickett against the spread in prime time, Mike, is 7-0. 7-0. Can you say that about any other quarterbacks in the league? No, you can't say that about any other quarterbacks in the league. Am I saying he's one of the best? No, but I'm saying he's not the worst either. We're winning football games. He's doing
good. But it's not. He doesn't get more than 2 touchdowns a game. He's not going to get us to the Super Bowl.
It doesn't matter.
He's not going to get us to the Super Bowl. That's what I want.
There's 31 other teams that aren't going to win the Super Bowl. I'm telling you that right now. That's numbers. That's facts. Get off of it.
The dude sucks, dude. Watch the film. Watch him play. He is not a good quarterback.
You're wrong, and you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You
Because
know what I'm
I'm going
talking
to
about.
continue with these numbers because he is again. There's 31 other quarterbacks that aren't going to win the Super Bowl either.
So we should be comfortable with that. We shouldn't go out looking for the one that's going to win us a quarter.
You always want to get the guy. Listen, if you're going to go on that note, we got to go look for a coach.
We should just settle with Kenny Pickett.
We're going to go on. We're going to want to get some wide receivers who are going to win a Super Bowl. Mike, it's way more than this quarterback. And if you think otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. I'm
watching really a guy
miss wide open receivers, not being able to read the defense, runs into sacks all the time, who's afraid to take chances down the field.
He wins football games, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because the defense
personal
puts him
stats,
into position.
as you say, don't matter. The win is what matters, and guess what? He wins.
Hey, you know what? 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and through 8 games. Hey, man, get him the gold jacket. Send him to the Hall of Fame. Completing
Nobody said he's the best
of his passage.
Nobody said he's the best.
He's not even good enough to get us to the Super Bowl. We're going to struggle to make the playoffs, man.
Mike, there's teams that never even been to the fucking Super Bowl. Get off your come on.
Hey, I'm sorry. As a Steeler fan, I thought the goal every
year. You're not a Steeler fan. You're a troll, and you know it. You're a troll.
I love the Steelers.
You've only said more negative than positive about this team
because there's not a whole lot to be positive about right now.
Mike, they're the second,
our first round
one game for being the second best team in the AFC.
Yards.
Mike. That's not
our
to
first
be positive
round
about.
Quarterback has
that means you have no
yards,
clue what you're
6
talking
touchdowns
about.
and 4 interceptions.
And how am I supposed to be excited about to keep arguing that?
How am I supposed to be excited out watching guys struggle, watching a running back struggle to hit a hole to read the offensive line? How is it fun to watch
the running back scoring
a fifth-year quarterback coming out of college who's 25 years old right now, struggle to read a defense,
put your head down, stiff arm me because that is a terrible argument.
They're not fun to watch. Watching Deontay Johnson, who's actually trying to play this year, finally do well.
Hey,
then
good
you have
for him.
George Pickens
I'm happy he scored a touchdown.
Then
apparently you got teammates aren't, and that's kind of a problem. But I'm happy for him.
I'm happy for him, but I would like to see better play out of all these first round picks that we have. That
Mike, if GP would have drug his toe, that would have been a touchdown. You know what? That would have been 2 touchdowns that game. It would be a different conversation. How is that anything Kenny's fault on that particular play? Explain that to me, please.
That's not. No, did I say that was his fault? No.
But a lot of those,
a lot of those missed passes in the first half. Oh my God, those are all him.
He I'm not denying that. I told you,
he underthrew the pass.
The other team 3-quarter head
He had Allen Robinson wide open in the end zone.
And yet we sit at 5-3, one game out of being the second best team in the AFC.
We don't have to rely on the defense to lock teams down. We don't have to hope he can turn it on in the fourth quarter, because eventually you're going to get to a point where you can't turn it on anymore. We saw this with the Penguins, man. For back-to-back Stanley Cup runs, they were able to turn it on and off whenever they needed. Now it's biting them in the ass. They can't turn it on anymore.
Listen,
same things are going to eventually happen to
the Miami Dolphins. 6-0 versus teams with losing records. Yeah. We are better than that. We've beat better too. Do
you really think this?
Listen. I'm not finished. 0-3 versus teams with winning records.
Yeah.
We beat the Ravens, winning record. We beat the Browns, winning record. So again, we're talking about how terrible this team is, yet they are accomplishing more than your Miami Dolphins and teams that they're actually ahead of
this year.
What's that?
It's just the way the NFL is going this year. But is that going to be for a long-term success this year? Is that going to be enough to get us into the playoffs?
Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get into the playoffs. The referees are going to make bad calls, and the Chiefs are going to win, and that's just going to be the way that it is. It doesn't matter who gets mad about what we say. It's going to be the same thing as it always is. Once you get to the playoffs, I don't know.
Anything can happen in the playoffs, but
let's see if a phantom pass interference isn't what decides the Super Bowl again.
It might happen. But I just there's a lot on this team that needs fixed, man. And
absolutely, I agree.
I think more. I think these past 2 draft classes, God, I want these guys to succeed. Why? Because they're Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think. I was going back through and looking at the draft classes, the players that we could have had. I hate doing that because, what ifs and that. But I was like, oh, God, so many good players that we could have had other than these guys. Or if we could have got that guy, then get Kenny in the second round, get a good center in the first round. It would have been this team's construction could have been so much different. And would it have been better? You don't know. It's just frustrating. But, hey, this is Steelers football from the 80s.
You want to talk about some more
90s.
Bad things about the Steelers?
What? You call me negative. You called me a troll. You're bringing up all the bad stuff.
I don't know what I'm saying to you. You're my show husband or show wife, right? I guess you would be my show wife.
No, you're my show wife.
I don't think about things I say to you.
Neither do I. I just talk.
Listen to this. We lose, guys. Yes, Cole Holcomb. It's official. Cole Holcomb is done for the year. He's out. That's
Yeah,
a season-ending knee injury.
that's a big blow right there.
That is a big blow.
Because we had a nice three depth. Now we have to see if Mark Robinson is ready to play.
I don't understand why Mark Robinson couldn't be ready to play at this point. It's already
Well,
been
yeah,
what 3 seasons now.
this is what his
This would be
second season.
3.
No,
I think
second.
last year wasn't his rookie year, was it?
No, I can't remember. I just know he's
I
coming
think this
from
is
running
year
back.
number 3. I just don't understand why we don't see more of him in general. What's going on? I mean, is he good or is
You're,
he not good?
I don't know because I know you're trying to make him from running back into a linebacker. So
Speaking
goes
of
from the side of
running
the
back,
ball.
Mike,
He was drafted in 2022, so this is his second year.
I don't know about you, but this Washington and Broderick Jones, did you catch the block that sprung Najee on that touchdown the other night? It was literally right behind those two guys. And if you go back and watch that play in slow motion, they tied up them two blocks
Oh
that
yeah,
allowed Najee to score.
is that the one when Broderick pulled around?
Isaac pulled it around. Broderick, it went to the right. Broderick took the guy
Oh,
straight
okay.
ahead of him.
Yeah. I remember it now. Yeah, I was thinking of another one, but yeah, that was beautiful. It was like watching them back in Georgia.
Yeah, it was a nice thing to see. And as I said, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, go back and just
Yeah.
watch it in slow motion. What they did was wonderful.
Dude, I'm telling you, this combination of five on the line is the best they can have. Keep Dan Moore at left. Then you got Siamalu, the Mason Cole, Daniels, and then Broderick on the right side. You saw how athletic he is, man. He's pulling from right to left on some of the other runs too. I think this is the best combination. That's only going to make Najee better, and that's only going to make Pickett better in the long run. Is just keep these five out here, and then let them just play the way they were playing last week.
Here's one other one, and I don't want to even go off in this direction, but it's just
Might
numbers
as
that I
well.
have. Most go ahead passing touchdowns in the final 5 minutes in the last 2 seasons. Kenny has 5. Number 2 is Josh Allen with 4.
Ow, it's just remarkable. Like for as bad as he plays those three, this is why I'm saying we need a quarterback for the first 3 quarters.
Right.
Kenny can play catch on the sidelines, throw the ball into the dirt, and then come in the fourth quarter and he'll be primed and ready to go because he
As
throws
I
all those
said,
passes in the dirt.
the
It makes
fact
no sense.
that we're successful with only
Is
playing one quarter of football every week is remarkable. If that don't say that we're one of the better teams in football, I don't know what that tells you. Because again, we're only giving 25% when everyone else is giving 100%.
uh, if this offense could ever figure it out from wire to wire, they would be one of the better teams in the league.
You know what? You know what? It might work. Remember, like the old what was it called? The old no huddle offense that the Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
used to run. Maybe just run a hurry up all game, and we might score 100 points. We got to hurry. That you got to be. I don't know. It seems like when we're
They need a sense of that offense needs a sense of urgency when they play.
yes, because when there's
Which
no urgency, they're terrible.
yeah, it's like everyone is thinking too much instead of reacting.
Yeah, stop thinking. I always say that about sports. Don't think. If you think
Yeah.
you're going to run into trouble,
And
as
you
soon as
figure
you
like a lot of these guys being high level picks would just be able to now, they should just be reacting and doing. They've been doing this forever at a high level in college. Now they're in the pros. It should be automatic to them. But my God, I don't know what it is. Maybe we need Josh Dobbs back.
Josh Dobbs, another one we'll be talking about shortly as we get more into teams around the league. A few other things here. Mike DJ was fined $25,000 for comments
Uh,
about
well,
questionable calls last week.
money well spent, DJ. Money well spent. I'm sure
Jackson,
the entire league agrees with him.
I agree. I think that you're right.
You know what? And he wasn't wrong in what he said.
No, and
He
he
wasn't.
certainly wasn't
Like
wrong enough to where
they helped.
they did fine him
The,
$25,000. That's
yeah,
crazy. Come
they
on.
they
That sounds like the league is shutting somebody
they
up because they want
their
something to go
calls.
a different way.
Yeah, yeah, and
And guess
and
what?
we saw like Big Ben pointed this out. Like all these calls last week, he's like, I wonder how many of these are messages from the league.
Exactly. Quo Ben suspects there was revengeful officiating against the Steelers in week 9 due to comments after questionable calls in week 8. And you know what? I tend to agree with Ben.
Yep. Like, dude, like not to bring it back to hockey again, but remember back in the days of like Kerry Fraser was the ref and he had a personal vendetta against Mario
Mike,
Lemieux and would ticky tacky calls. And you know that happens in every single sport where I don't like you, I don't like the team, I don't like this coach. So guess what? I'm gonna call it differently for you than them.
I think in hockey it's the most obvious with these makeup calls.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's on your bed, baby.
Martavius Bryant. Martavius Bryant reinstated by the NFL. He's been out of the league since 2018. Former Steeler, of course, wide receiver. I wouldn't mind having him back. Seemed like he might have grown up a little bit, and he might be a little bit better of a teammate right now than George Pickens. Again, you know what? To me, it seems like George Pickens is letting up. I didn't get the story or what he's doing, but a few things that I heard this morning indicates that he is letting up a little bit and
Yeah,
maybe coming back around.
yeah, he like what refollowed the Steelers and some of the
Yeah.
players. Like the only person that he did not delete was Mason Rudolph. So is Mason like the George Pickens whisperer, or he's just so forgotten? I mean, he's just so
Yeah, he
forgettable.
just forgot he was on there. He didn't realize he was a Steeler.
Poor Mason. He's just trying to hold the receiver room together.
Marcus Golden, 50 career sacks after he picked up his third sack the other day. You know what?
Nice.
He's a nice pickup.
He is a nice pickup.
I like Marcus Golden.
I do too. I like that whole outside linebacker group,
I
and
do
they're all
too.
doing their roles
Nick
well.
Herbig, Marcus Golden, TJ Highsmith. You
I
know,
like to see
people apparently expect TJ Watt and Highsmith to be Superman. I don't know what more. I mean, TJ has what 10, 9.5
nine and
sacks.
a half sacks.
These guys are making mad. I mean, you watch these games, the pressure, they're making quarterbacks make bad decisions all game long. Apparently, they expect them to come on a red cape. I don't know what more to say about these two guys. I think that they're playing their asses off. Like this might be
They,
the
they,
best season that both of them played together yet, as with these two particular outside linebackers.
yeah, they're playing well, and Highsmith. I like to see more sacks out of him. His sacks have been, very very, key moment sacks. I just like to see more volume out of him.
Right.
Doing a hell of a job in the run game, doing a
You
hell of a
know,
job in coverage, but I just
okay.
want more sacks.
Look at
He's doing everything well, and I still want more out of him.
well, look at the way they're helping the team win
They
earlier in
are,
the
yeah.
season with the interception down to the 7 that led us to a touchdown. The fumble punched away, picked up. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you can't ask more from these two guys right now.
I
The
just noticed
defense
like
is
just the
good.
past two game, like Watts, his numbers just haven't been there like we're used to seeing. And that's gonna happen in football. You can't go out and get, sacks every single game, but you would like to, I don't know. That's more pressure out of him on games where he's not getting the sacks. That's what it felt like last week. He had a couple, but I thought he could have had more. A couple times, they're getting, especially in that Jacksonville game, skinny tight end was blocking him one on one. It's like, oh, come on, TJ. But
Yeah.
overall, he's playing hell. He's playing lights out. So it's just like little nitpicking things.
Um,
And I'm not above
just
that
I do want to
because I'm a
respond to
troll, apparently.
the two most recent posts on the board. Well, three. Refs need to be fined for shit call.
Exactly.
Who holds referees responsible in this league? You know what I mean? At what point are
Well,
we going to hear about a referee getting shitted on by the NFL because of a bad call? I want to hear a little bit more of that. I want to hear the backstory. I want to hear about the referees who miss calls and what it is that's holding them accountable for this.
oh,
I mean, Mike, this is a big job. This isn't
yeah.
this isn't down at the high school by the river. This is the
Yeah.
multi-billion
Billion
dollar
dollar.
industry.
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
know.
that,
I want to know who's holding the referees accountable and what exactly is happening.
all their accountability is they get graded every game. Then they take a look at it in the after the regular season and then determine the best graded team crews make it to the get the call playoff games. That's it, man. That's it. There's no fines. There's no suspensions. I can't remember the last time an official has been fired or demoted. So yeah, it's a joke. It's a farce. It's a joke.
And also, P says kind of why I don't
Which is
watch
the
much of
Watchmen.
NFL anymore. You know what? I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't disagree. I think people are getting a little pissed. They let them play football, man. Get the fuck out of there. Stop controlling the game. Stop manipulating. Let the guys play. That's why I want to watch. That's why most people want to watch the game. Let's talk some other football teams around the league. Mike, We're going to go through scores here in a moment. I do want to say that Bill Belichick, couple facts that I do have, I want to go over real quick. Bill Belichick, without Tom Brady, is 82 and 96 in his career. 82 and 96 in his career. You got to remember he coached, before Brady. He
With the
Tom Brady ended up
Browns.
going to a Tampa Bay team that wasn't a contender the year before winning the Super Bowl. Yet
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick is struggling to even get on his feet with this franchise that was 20 years,
Yeah.
called the best.
You notice like all those coaches that have come and gone throughout there, they've gone elsewhere to the pros, to college. They don't have Tom Brady and their records suck. They're not able to do Spygate and they suck. So a lot of it was Spygate and Tom Brady. Tom Brady was, God, you hate to say it, but God damn, he might really truly be the best quarterback of all time. It's because of what he's been able to, what he did once he left there and took, like you said, that Tampa Bay team to a Super Bowl and won.
Yes, again, he added his pieces. We all know that. People can't say, well, he didn't just go to Tampa Bay and win. Yes, he added pieces. No two ways about it.
Yeah,
But
brought in Gronk, but a lot
guess
of the
what?
pieces
Every
were
team brings
there.
in pieces every year to
Yeah.
try to win a championship, and this one just so happens to win the Super Bowl that year.
Belichick, The Walking
I
Dead.
agree.
Belichick
Yeah,
out
he
here looking
is.
like North Turner. Guys are killing it today.
Josh Dobbs shows up in Minnesota on Tuesday, wins a football game on Sunday.
And he
I,
doesn't know anyone's name.
he doesn't know everyone's name, let
That's the
alone the
best part.
plays.
He doesn't know their full names. Lauren plays on like a Wednesday. No, on a Thursday. He's like, oh yeah, whatever was on the call sheet on Thursday, I got to memorize. We're good to go.
Unbelievable.
Like,
Unbelievable.
like who would have thought? Like people always say, oh, look at Fitzmagic. He was from Harvard. He's smart. Oh, look at their Wonderlic scores. They're smart and they're playing well. Finally, we have Dobbs where it's actually like, oh my God, maybe the smart kid who actually has some athletic ability might be the way to go.
Texans,
Playing out of his mind.
one of the Texans running backs even kicked a field goal.
Oh, that was the best.
I mean,
It wasn't the prettiest field goal, but it was effective. And why, if you're Tampa Bay, why didn't you just have an all out rush on that? They just did like their normal. It's going to
right.
put our hands up.
Bro, it's a running back. Get in there. You know what I mean? He's not going to handle the pressure like a kicker does. Right?
Right? It was wild, man.
Mike, let's start hitting some scores here in the NFL around the league. Of course, we're going to start with the early game on Sunday, the game in Frankfurt, Germany. This game is the one that kind of separated the Chiefs from the rest of the AFC per se at this time. Excuse me, the Chiefs win this game 21-14 over the Dolphins. So kind of a game that the Dolphins, if you're looking to be a legitimate team and a
You
team that,
have to win that game.
winning that game was kind of big, I think, for the Dolphins. And the fact they lost that, and it puts them at 6-0 versus teams with losing records and 0-3 versus teams with winning records, kind of gives me some doubts about Miami.
Oh yeah, and I don't know what the hell what is wrong with it. They have a lot of talent on offense. The defense isn't bad.
And hey, Chase Claypool couldn't even F anything up. The guy didn't have a stat line. So I mean, how
Exactly.
could it
Well,
wasn't
he's
like he
just on
messed
the
it up.
team now. He's on the team now. That's why they're sucking.
Exactly. This team seemed to be doing a lot better, 70 points when Chase
Right.
Claypool wasn't there.
That's
Next,
just funny. They put 70 on the Broncos and the Chiefs lose to the Broncos.
yeah.
And they come out and beat Miami.
Yeah. Next game, Mike, the Vikings and Falcons. We just talked about Josh Dobbs goes up, of course, and beats the Falcons. Again, I mean, that is something that we've done the past couple of times we played him. It's nothing to write home about, but the guy just showed up in Minnesota on Tuesday. That, I believe, is the story. And as you mentioned, Mike, he doesn't even know how many guys can you possibly know their
Yeah,
name at the
yeah,
point?
2 touchdowns passing and 1 rushing touchdown. He was
Yeah.
Minnesota's leading rusher.
Yeah. Minnesota
Oh.
got big issues though too.
Oh, they got a lot of issues. They were missing, but that defensive lineman Hunter, man, he has 10 sacks now, leading the league.
Yeah, he's had 10 for a couple of weeks now, I
Yeah,
think.
he's been stuck, but damn.
Yeah. Also, Mike, I think TJ Wood got 9.5.
Not him and Miles Garrett and Max Crosby all have 9.5.
I know, geez, the guy on San Fran, the Boza, he's only like 3 still.
Yeah, he's having a rough one.
Bears lose to the Saints 24-17. That must have been a great game. Packers over the Rams 20-3. So I mean, this is the team that we're playing next. I guess you want to pay attention to this Packers team a little bit. They win 20-3. Their leading guys were Jordan Love. He went 20 for 26 for 228 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Jones, 20 carries, 73 yards and a touchdown. Musgrave, 3 catches, 51 yards and a touchdown. That is who we are going to be playing against this weekend, coming in with a 3-5 record. The Packers are.
Yeah, it's the supporting cast that's holding them back, man. They just have trouble getting open and then making plays. But if they can start doing that, man, they might be a pretty good team. But they can wait another week to figure it out.
The great Belichick takes an L to the Washington Commanders, a team that you don't, and most people don't even want to call them the Commanders, take the win over Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time to some people.
Yeah, it's
the Commanders win 20-17. And I just think to myself, we still got the Patriots on our schedule. I'm liking that.
Yeah.
Next game was a disaster. You know what? This one is a game that I thought was going to be a game. Baltimore beating Seattle 37-3.
That surprised me. That Seattle team, I thought they would put up a better fight than that. But this Ravens team, man, they are looking pretty good. And like Lamar didn't even have to do that much to this game.
I seen the OBJ got his first touchdown by the backup quarterback.
Yeah. He was like 21 of 26, 187 yards. And I'm like, all right, you come on out. We're gonna put in the backup. And the backup goes out and slings a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's looking really good this year. But you know what? We'll beat them because when they play the Steelers, man, we haven't figured out.
Yeah, they scored 37 points. I'm pretty sure it'll be 14-12 when we play them.
Exactly. Last second field goal.
Yeah. Boy, that's why we have Boz, and that's why they have Tucker. For this particular game, you know. Mike, the Texans beating the Buccaneers. Of course, we talked about CJ Stroud having an amazing game against this Buccaneers team.
That game-winning drive was amazing. He just so calm and cool under pressure.
I like this. I like this Stroud. I
like Stroud. I like Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had that look, like you said, like he's seeing ghosts or something. He's like, I'm back in Cleveland.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Browns, albeit against the Arizona Cardinals, they win 27-0 in a big win. Again, all 4 AFC North teams win this weekend. Again, all of them against teams that are sub 500. I just want to throw that out there.
Hey, a win is a win.
A win is a win, as Mike always says.
I always say, hey, man, I'll take them however I can take them or get them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you say something, it gets on.
I'm hopped up on caffeine right now. I'm sorry.
The Colts, Mike, the Colts 27, the Panthers 13. Colts are they're a team that I'm keeping my eye on in distance because we still have them coming up too. That's one of those teams you don't want to look past too because they're winning games. They're winning football games.
Gardner Minshew, man, he's just keeping them. He's keeping them close.
You know what? He's such a weird. He was like that in Jacksonville. This Gardner Minshew figures it out somehow and finds ways to get his yards.
He finds ways
football games.
Yeah, to keep it close or
But yeah, you can't really categorize him as a good quarterback.
No.
Like, maybe him and Kenny might be in the same.
Kenny, like Gardner Minshew might be Kenny Pickett's ceiling.
Yeah, right.
I'm not trying to knock the guy, but that's not a bad ceiling.
Yeah.
How long's Gardner's been in the league for a while? He's bouncing around and still has
he's
success.
Productive. He wins football games.
Yeah. He might not get you over the hump, but he'll get you close.
The Raiders dominate the Giants. This Giants team may be the worst team in the league. I mean, I can't believe that the Raiders puts up 30 points against them.
Yeah. But hey, Aiden O'Connell, who saw this coming out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Yep.
Raiders win that football game 30-6 over Danny Dime. I think Danny Dime got it hurt like in the first play of the game or something.
Yeah, they think he tore his ACL. that contracts look worse and worse and worse.
Oh. They got to be kicking themselves in New York. This game here, I was, and I don't.
Carolina, man. Yeah, your team is tanking. P.
In one other one here, I got 2 more left. Don't get me wrong. I don't ever side with the Dallas Cowboys. I never have, never will. It's just it's in my blood. But you know what? They got screwed. I'm watching this Philadelphia game last night. Again, it was unwatchable with this Philadelphia. The secondary is so handsy. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen things like it, but I've seen people get called for it. These guys
Yeah.
just aren't getting called. I don't understand what's going on with this Philadelphia team. You go into the game knowing this is going to happen, then you watch it. It's confirmed. Yet the referees don't know this. Mm, again, they're not
Yeah.
getting paid a lot of money to understand what goes on in these football games.
No.
It's another
It's
thing that
like
makes it a little suspicious.
they hold every single play. It's like they do it enough to where the officials are like,
Right.
well, yeah, that's just how they play. It wasn't like Seattle, the Legion of Boom was the same way. They were handsy, and the
Yeah.
officials were like, well, yeah, we know they are. You just got to deal with it. It's like, come on, now call it.
The Bengals and Bills. Okay, maybe the Bengals are getting hot, but what I don't understand is how come the Bills can't beat them at all? Past 5 times they played them, or some. What
They
is it
just
about the
can't.
Bengals that the Bills can't beat?
That's just the team. You
That's just
know,
their kryptonite. They're
it is. It's like the Ravens and Steelers are each other's kryptonite. The Bills can't beat the Bengals, man. They see
I
those
just thought
stripes
that
come
I
in,
thought
and
that Bills team was so good the past 2 years. I don't understand what's going on over there. And they have a lot of injuries on defense. I think everybody knows that, but
yeah, but that offense is struggling.
hmm,
I don't get it.
I don't understand. And then finally, the game tonight is the LA Chargers at the New York Jets. A game again that should have been an Aaron Rodgers smoke up his ass fest, but now we're just stuck watching this Chargers and Jets teams play each other on a Monday night.
Zach Wilson, baby.
Zach Wilson. I like Justin Herbert, so we'll see how that
Yeah,
how
Herbert.
that plays out.
Hey, we'll trade Kenny for Herbert straight up.
I would take Herbert. I like that guy.
I do
I
too,
think I
man.
think I think the Chargers are doing him no justice at
No,
all.
you put him on another team, and my God, he's easily a top 10.
So here's how it plays. That plays out, Mike, in the divisions. We'll start with ours. AFC North. The Ravens 7-2. Again, it seems like they played 10 more games than everybody else. They're just not. Well, the late bye week is such a weird thing to be that late in the season. But
Right?
anyway,
Yeah.
the rest of the division.
Danny Laundromat. Danny
who
Dimes.
who said that? I'm not on that page.
Let's see. Steeler Freak called Danny Dimes Wooden Nickels. Peak calls him Danny Laundromat.
I like it.
I love it.
Steelers, Browns, Ravens, all 5-3. Steelers are at the top of those three teams by way of tiebreaker. Over to, we'll start with the AFC East. Dolphins 6-3, Jets 4-3, Bills 5-4, Patriots 2-7. AFC West, Chiefs 7-2, Raiders 4-5, Chargers 3-4, Broncos 3-5. As you see, again, nobody in the AFC North has. They're at least 2 games better than 500, which makes us the best division. Let me continue with the other divisions around the league.
Let's go.
Jacksonville to 6-2, Houston Texans with a 4-4, Colts with a 4-5, and then the Tennessee Titans with a 3-5. We're going to hop over to the NFC East. Eagles, they really created some space with this win over the Cowboys. They're sitting at 8-1, Cowboys 5-3, Commanders 4-5, and that Giants team 2-7.
The Giants.
San
Jesus.
Francisco, they go up back over Seattle in that NFC West by way of tiebreaker after Seattle takes um, that loss yesterday to the Ravens, the out of conference loss. Then after that, it is the Rams with the 3-6, the Cardinals with the 1-8, Lions with the 6-2 record in the NFC North leading the way. Vikings only, I mean, they're 5-4, 5-4, 6-2, 5-4. That's not far behind for what Detroit is, and but the Vikings are missing their starting quarterback and
Yeah.
a couple other big pieces. So they got the Vikings sitting at 5-4. That's kind of I that caught me off guard. I didn't realize they had a 5-4 record. I thought they were
Yeah,
worse than that.
they started off really, really slow, and then, like you said, man,
Yeah,
they're inching their way back in, and
they beat the Niners.
beat the Niners. Man, if you're them, man, I'm seriously thinking about starting Dobbs from here on out.
Yeah, they have to. I come on. He came in and won in that faction. The Packers. I'm sorry, are 3-5. Bears sitting at 2-7 in the basement, like you'd expect. Then finally, the NFC South, which is a basement altogether. Saints with a 5-4 record lead the division. Falcons with a 4-5. Buccaneers with a 3-5. And the Carolina Panthers sitting at the bottom with a 1-7 record. Like,
And the best thing about the Carolina Panthers, their first round pick belongs to the Bears this year. Which They
Me
traded that
below.
pick to get what Bryce Young, and when they should have just stayed there and drafted CJ Stroud.
Exactly. Next week, Mike, the games we have coming up. I do have your picks, but we're not going to touch them tomorrow
Yep.
because we still have one more game tonight. But next week's game's Thursday. The game to kick off the weekend on Thursday is going to be Carolina at Chicago. Early game on Sunday morning at 9:30, somewhere in Europe, I'm sure. The Colts at the Patriots. Big game between the Browns and Ravens on Sunday afternoon. Packers versus the Steelers. 49ers versus the Jaguars. Those are three big games right there off the
Yeah.
top. Next on the list is Saints versus Vikings. The Texans versus the Bengals, Mike. Think
That's
about
going to
that
be a
for a
good
second. Let
game.
that sink in.
That's going to
Um,
be a good game
I
right
couldn't
there.
agree more. The Titans at the Buccaneers, Lions at the Chargers, Falcons at Cardinals, Giants at Cowboys, Commanders at Seahawks. Sunday night is Jets, Raiders. And then finally, the Monday night football game next week is the Broncos and the Bills.
That Monday night game might be a snooze fest. My lord.
Yeah.
Or that just might be what Buffalo needs to play Denver and just beat the shit out of them.
So there you have it. I do want to jump over to a couple other things here real quick, Mike. Brian Hayes. Congratulations, my friend. Brian Hayes, Pittsburgh Pirates third fielder, wins the National League Gold Glove.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
I thought so too. I thought if somebody else did, if he didn't win it, something was up. I'm very happy for
Yeah.
Brian Hayes. He does win the National League Gold Glove. There was a lot of minor deals made between a lot of these young guys that you've seen come up. I mean, of course, it wasn't your Henry Davis guys like this, but there was a few names that moved around. We'll touch more as we get through the week. I don't want to get too much into baseball right now. I don't want to bore everybody.
No, baseball sucks.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, coming
the
off
Penguinies, the Penguiners. They get their first win, and it seems like forever. They increased a 4-6 record, Mike, with a 10-2. 10-2. That's right. You did not mishear me. 10-2 win over the San Jose Sharks, who were sitting there with a 0-10-1 record. 0-10-1.
Sorry
Mike.
about that. My God, every time I clicked on something new on ESPN, all the adverts play.
They've lost 11 straight games. They have 1 point. But the Penguins did win, so we're not going to bring everybody down with the San Jose Sharks talk.
They are the worst team in the salary cap era.
Penguins 10, Sharks 2. We play the 7-4 Anaheim Ducks tomorrow in Anaheim. A couple of notes from the Penguins game. Crosby reaches his 12,000th career game. I'm sorry, his 12,000th career game. Jake Gensel, here's where I mixed it up, had his 200th NHL goal.
Whew.
And there was 4 points for all three stars of the game. Mike, Brian Rust, Riley Smith, and Jake Gensel all had 4 points in the win over San Jose.
Yeah, like Gensel had 2 goals, Malkin 2 goals, Riley Smith 2 goals. They played well. Carlson came back, played against his former team, had 2 assists. And real quick, Jake Gensel, man, who would have thought, when they called him up, he's that rookie. They're like, who's this kid? We're in the midst of our second cup run. First shift, first game, first shot, first goal. Shades of Mario Lemieux scores 2, and he just hasn't stopped since, man.
Gensel's been special from day one. I mean, come on, he was a part of them teams that won the cups back to back.
Yeah, he was a huge run, a huge addition to that. He came up on the second cup run for that second one, and he was exactly what we needed. He's that guy who knows how to play with Sidney Crosby, which is not easy to do because he's very particular the way he plays, and he just gelled from day one.
Yeah. You gotta like what you're getting from Gensel. Also, here's an interesting
he's a little guy too, and is not afraid to go in front of the net, man.
The guy's a gamer. No two ways about it. Come on, he's one of the future players of this team. If you really think about it. Also, Mike, one other note: 2023 is the first time champions. That's the theme of the year. First time champions, Mike. The Vegas Golden Knights win their first championship ever in 2023. The Denver Nuggets, they win their first championship ever in 2023. Mike, the Texas Rangers win their first championship ever in 2023. Going into soccer, just because it's what's on the list. I don't know much about these teams, but I'm also tell you that in the UEFA Champions League, Manchester City wins their first ever. They
bought that championship.
FIFA Women's Cup, Spain wins their first ever. Yep. And then finally in the FIBA, World Cup. Germany wins their first championship ever. This is the year of the first time ever champions.
Detroit Lions, baby.
That
It's
was
all
what popped into
second
my
of.
head.
Yep.
As soon as I was reading it, I thought, you know what? Come on, Lions. I'd like to see it. If it's not
No,
us, I'd like to see the
Lions
Lions.
or the Texans, man. The way they're playing, sneaky. They're sneaky. They're getting
I,
better and better.
I would love to see that. Both living in Pitt. How do you? Oh man, I don't. Yeah. We live in Pitt. I live closer to Pittsburgh. Mike's right across the border in Ohio, but as he echoes, he's originally from Pittsburgh. So we,
I was born in McKeesport. It's a little suburb of Pittsburgh, but I grew up just across the river in Ohio. But my family's through and through Pittsburgh.
yeah, and I don't know how we met.
I don't know how we met.
I think
God,
yeah.
it sucks. Sucks that we know each other. My God, I used to have a full head of hair. My beard wasn't gray.
Mike, I think what we're gonna do. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the website because we do have a trivia still, and I want to stay
Yeah,
on time today.
yeah. The 2dumyinzers.com. Check it out if you're new here. All of our links for our socials are on there. Um, yeah, the links for Spotify's on there too. If you just want to listen, Ryan will plug that here in a minute. Merch stores on there, blogs up there, all at
The
the
blog.
two dumb
Why'd you say it like that?
the blog,
The blog.
the 2dumyinzers.com.
Check it out, everybody. www.the2dumyinzers.com. www.the2dumyinzers.com.
What the hell's a Muldon?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's where I met you.
I gotta look that up here.
Yeah, look that up. I was shopping for Moodongs and I found Mike. That's how we actually met. You find it? Stealing freak is smart.
I first thing that pops up, Muldon is an Anglicanation Anglican version of the Irish surname O'Mulden. That's the first thing that popped up. We've got Robert Muldon, National Party Convention.
Muldoon.
Yeah,
There's two O's. You putting two O's in there?
I'm putting two O's in
All
there.
right. All right. Don't yell at me.
Yeah,
That's probably where we met.
it's
I bet
like
you.
an
I
Irish
bet you. I found him at the
surname,
Muldoons.
right? I'm lost, confused.
All right, guys. Question of the day. It is a Green Bay Packer question, of course, because we do play the Packers next. We had a nice little few extra days to prepare, rest, relax, and heal. I want to
An
see.
army term. Okay.
I want to see. I want to see, guys. Who knows the answer to this question? This is a good one. All right, here we go. Green Bay Packers question. Green Bay Packer trivia. Could be from any time, from Curly Lambeau to Bart Starr to Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Who was on the receiving end of Brett Favre's first NFL completion? Take a moment to think that over.
Oh, I got this one in the bag.
We are live, everybody, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right here, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you missed the show, or you can maybe only listen to the show at the gym, in the car, whatever, that's fine because we upload the show live that we do live every day over on Spotify at 8 p.m. So if you go over to Spotify at 8 p.m., you'll be able to check this show out on podcast. Go check it out. You're pretty confident about this, I'm like.
I'm very confident about this.
All right. Here we go. One more time. Who was on the receiving end of Brett Favre's first NFL completion? Mike, who do you think?
Brett Favre.
Ooh, interesting. Brett Favre. You want me to lock you in on that?
Andre Rison, good guess.
I think there's a lot of good guesses. I think that like P says, Andre Rison. You have James Lofton, you have Sterling Sharp, Edgar Bennett. A lot of guys you could pick from, but Mike picks Brett Favre. That's your final answer.
I'm going Brett Favre.
All right, here we go. Lock you in. All right, guys. Who was on the receiving end of Brett Favre's first NFL completion? The answer, of course, is Brett Favre. That is 100% true. That is 100% the answer. He threw the ball. It got batted. He catches the ball, makes a little bit of a play, but that nonetheless was his first ever completed pass in the NFL. Kind of a trick question that wasn't a trick question, you know?
It was, yeah. I think it wasn't his last reception as well.
Was he? I don't know.
It's something weird. I knew he was his first, but I thought I've read that he was also his last.
Okay.
I could be mistaken.
Okay. Anything else before we get ready to take off, Mike?
I got nothing. I got nothing.
I do. Yeah.
Let's go Steelers.
I do say I want to say thank you for everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every
Always,
one of you.
always, always.
Everybody on the board, you make it awesome.
Oh
Couldn't
God, it
do it
was a
without you
blast today.
guys. My thing is this. Where's Zuckerberg? They're supposed to have this fight with Elon Musk. Well, apparently he blew his knee out at martial arts over the weekend.
Didn't it like Musk back out of this like months ago?
If Musk was smart, he would have hung in there because this nerd
Right,
blew out his knee.
right.
Come on.
I'd still put my money on Zuck beating up Musk.
That's what you always say. You always say that you always favored Zuck in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Jen something. Steelers freak is who he sent
Yeah,
that
who
picture
was
to.
that?
Jen Sterner.
Jen Sterner. That sounds right.
That sounds about right.
Didn't he send it to Mark Shimura too? They were
Mark Shimura
close.
was the one with hot tubs with teenage girls.
They
That
had
freak.
they had issues over there. No two ways
You
about it.
think? You got pedophiles and dick pic senders.
Yeah. But hey, I do like I said, thank you everybody for checking us out. Mike, yes, Derpy
Derpy's pick
is on a milk carton.
It might be at this point.
He might be. He might be on a milk cartoon too. But no, we'll get more into Derby tomorrow. How's that? We'll talk. We'll have Derpy talk.
Derpy talk.
Derpy segment.
Oh God.
A very derpy segment.
It's like an after school special.
Derpy.
All right. But I do want to say
shit.
thank you everybody for checking us out.
Yes.
We will be back tomorrow at the same time. We'll do it all over again. For Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers, everyone have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See ya.